are now listening to the Odd Squad podcast. I'm your host, Bad Germs, and in heartbreaking news, Scrappy Doo of Hanna-Barbera fame, yes, young Scrappy has been found dead in Miami. So I think we'd just like to start off the podcast by sending our condolences over to the Doo family and Mrs. Doo in particular. And I guess what the aim of the podcast is, we've discussed internally, is we're just going to have a little bit of a fun chat between mates, and who knows what's to come in the next few episodes. We have a couple important figures, maybe even some sports people, some very important sports persons that we might be interviewing. We might also be interviewing nobody at all, bro. So like, you know, just fucking, it might be no one of any particular fame. So we hope you enjoy, keep listening, and let us know what you think. If you have any ideas or you would like us to interview, what we're going for is some business owners in Sydney. If you would like us to interview some business owners that you know in particular that you think, you know, would be a decent chat, feel free to email us at theoddsquadpodcast@gmail.com. That's theoddsquadpodcast@gmail.com. So feel free to, you know, spam us, send us nude pics, whatever you want to do. And so our first guest that I'm going to introduce today is Jav. That's what he goes by apparently on the streets, you know, Jav. So, Jav, you're now online.
How are we doing, fellas?
Yeah, pretty good, bro, pretty good. Next guest I think we have is Toledo. Hopefully I'm choosing the right microphone, so say something.
Hey, it's your boy Toads. How you doing?
Also goes by the TM40.
As you do.
TM40. Pokemon lovers are going to like that one. And we have Nico on the mic as well.
What up?
All right, so to open up the discussion, let me move this fucking laptop down. Open up the discussion is, dude, I saw this fucking meme maybe 5-6 days ago. I screenshot it. I had to fucking find it because I screenshot memes way too fucking frequently. But I saw this meme from Puberty Sport IG. So shout out Puberty Sport.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out.
Shout out to Puberty.
To Puberty Sport. This is the meme right here. I'm just going to show it to you guys and I'll read it out. So it's a tweet from God knows fucking when. It goes, "I'm not ready for this generation of elite athletes to end." And then it lists out some elite athletes. Let me just go through this list, right? Cristiano Ronaldo is 36. LeBron James is 36. Tom Brady is 43. It's not on the list, but I'm going to say Aaron Rodgers is also getting up there. Goated. MS Dhoni of cricket fame. I believe that's a cricketer, right?
Yeah.
He is.
He's 39. Lionel Messi is 33. Floyd Mayweather is 43. I don't even know why he's on the list, bro. He's been retired.
I thought Floyd was gone for quite a while now.
Yeah. Roger Federer, 39. Goat.
Undisputed GOAT.
Undisputed.
Tiger Woods is 45.
Undisputed
Serena
GOAT.
Williams, first female on the list, is 39 for all the women out there. Rafael Nadal is 34. Lewis Hamilton is 36.
What?
And there's a couple of other... Who else? I know I was thinking, who else is a fucking GOAT right now that's not going to be a GOAT in the next few years? I was thinking Eliud, you know, Kipchoge, the guy that did the fucking marathon in was it 2 hours or 3 hours or some shit like that?
The first person to break the 2-hour barrier in a marathon.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. There's a couple others I had on a list as well. But so the question I want to pose and get your opinions on, let's get some controversial opinions is are we living through, or did we just live through the greatest time or the greatest era in sports history as a whole?
As a whole.
Yeah. Is there going to be another time where there is just widespread greatness throughout multiple sports like we have just lived through right now? Or due to science, the advancement of science and, I guess technology, is it just going to keep getting better? Because I betcha it wouldn't be the first time that people living through a generation of greatness are thinking that, it's not going to get better. It's not going to get better. Like people living through Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, fucking Frazier, Pele, Maradona, they probably all were like, this is it.
It can't get better than this.
Yeah, it can't get better than this.
This is the pinnacle of sport.
Is it the greatest moment or greatest era in history, the last 10 or 15 years that we've just fucking witnessed? Because it makes me sad to think that it's not going to be as good. Like even right now, we all watch soccer, except for I think Javi as much. But even right now, Ronaldo and Messi are still up there. But they're obviously getting up in age, even though they're fucking scoring a shit ton. And who are the next biggest fucking names? Mbappe and Haaland.
Yeah.
Even like I don't really see them getting.
And they got so much to go.
They got heaps to go. They're so young.
I don't know if you saw it, but there was a statistic floating around last month where for Haaland and Mbappe to catch up to Ronaldo, they have to score, I think, 45 goals a season till they turn 35. Because Ronaldo's 35 right now or something like that.
Yeah.
So in order to achieve that, they would have to put in like a ridiculous number of goals because 43 and 45 is huge.
You're saying 45 a season?
A season to catch up to Ronaldo, who's 35 now. So I think we'd have to compartmentalize it because in football, I don't think we're going to see someone like that for quite a while. But then again, maybe just like you said, people back then thought they were living at the peak. Maybe that's us as well.
But with football, it's really funny because like, I don't know. I feel like what drove Messi and Ronaldo was to try and be better than each other, and like how good would this person for the next person to be up there? Because you know what, for a while, people were like, yeah, Neymar's the next one, and yeah, he's a fucking beast. But
Neymar's like 27 now though.
Yeah, and he's already getting up there.
Is he older than 27?
Yeah.
And,
I think so.
And I don't think he ever caught up to Ronaldo or Messi, to be honest.
Yeah, he was never really... I mean, he was up there at the beginning. They were saying, yeah, this guy's going to be the next dude. But even he fell short, man.
Yeah, and even he was interchangeable because meanwhile, while all this whole Neymar thing was going on, people were still saying at some point, actually, Ibra is the third in line.
Yeah, I'd have to say, man. Some of the goals that kind of scored, no one else really scores.
Ridiculous.
You know what? You know who else as well didn't make that list, but he's getting up there in age. But Lewandowski, he's a fucking beast.
I feel like it's because Lewandowski, like, he's a bit like wine. He's just gotten better and better. And when he was younger, he wasn't catching up to them, but he's gotten older and he's got it even better.
Yeah, it's like he's like aging at a slower rate than them.
Yeah.
You know, he's just he's ridiculous.
Shout out to wine.
Yeah.
yeah.
Shout out to old mate. But you know what?
Shout out to the Malbec lad.
And that has a lot to do. That has a lot to do
agree.
with culture and just personality. Because if you've heard some of the comments made by his previous coaches, they always say Lewandowski rocks up to training early, is the last one to leave, is just overly dedicated, and that explains why he's still at the top. You know, so many years into it. Will he ever catch up to Messi and Ronaldo? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Or the next generations, probably not. But I feel like in regards to football, that's sort of settled for the time being. I think the bigger one, or the more, the more interesting one that people would have more of a say on is what's going on in tennis right now. Because you have Roger Federer going through this era where everyone agrees that he's the GOAT, but Nadal's right behind him, and he's probably going to end up with more Grand Slams than him as well. And they sort of came up. No one realizes Federer was such a GOAT. Nadal came up like right after him. Federer won his first Wimbledon, I think, in 2002. Nadal won his first French Open in like 2005.
Yeah, but that's the thing. With Nadal, he was just such a fucking mad clay court. He's just like the clay court god. I obviously biased. You know, I consider Federer the GOAT, but it was just like the clay court was Nadal's domain. Like no one fucking... Didn't he win like 7 French titles back to back or some shit?
Yeah, some ridiculous stuff.
It's
like
probably...
that.
I'm not even sure. I think he's probably still holding the title. Who knows, dude? But yeah.
I'm pretty sure they have the same amount of Grand Slams.
Really?
Nah, I think they're one short.
No.
I think Nadal's one short.
I'm pretty sure Nadal is
Last I checked,
tied
Federer
with
was
Roger.
ahead by like 2 or 3.
Nah, by one.
But you know what sucks? Well, you know what sucks ass for Nadal is that as he was getting a little bit closer, that's when Djokovic came up.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
And he was stopping
you
him,
think
bro.
Nadal's the one right after, and then you get Djokovic is right behind him, like also
But see,
holding his
that's the
weight.
difference between tennis and soccer, I feel, is that for some reason soccer, like Messi and Ronaldo were so good for so long. Like they were the best two by a mile for so long. Whereas, I mean, it was Federer and Nadal as well, but it's pretty much only been Djokovic that's gotten even close to them as well. But he's only won like most of his Grand Slams in the second half of like their careers because he was much younger and like he's like perfect fucking physique for tennis as well. Like I'm pretty sure he's like taller than Federer and stuff, and they're all massive. But
And actually, Federer's career has gone longer than Ronaldo's and Messi's.
yeah, and he won that recent slam here in Australia, I think. Has he won one since then?
No, and that was like back in 2017. And that's when we were already saying that Federer ran out of steam and he doesn't have much. So that was like out of nowhere. It was very unexpected that he won that slam.
You know,
and
you know what the crazy thing about like soccer is that I saw a stat the other day, and I might be wrong on the year by a couple years or 1 year or something, but just in terms of the sheer dominance that Ronaldo and Messi had, I saw a stat the other day that was like, because it was the day that Messi and Ronaldo, they both got knocked out of the Champions League, the CL.
Yeah,
And it was like
the
they
first
haven't.
time in
It
how
was the
many
first
years
time
that they
since like
didn't make
2004 or some shit that they have not been in a semi like in the Champions League. That one of them. Yeah, I'm like, holy fuck.
And you know what's crazy as well? Ronaldo and Messi have scored in every Champions League since 2005. That's what, 16 years now?
That's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts.
That's pretty unheard of. In like any sport, it's pretty unheard of. But yeah, so what I wanted to ask is whether or not you think there'll be anything like that. I'm not sure about soccer, man. I think they're the GOATs because like they were so great because they've got like 10 or 9 or 10 Champions Leagues between them, I think.
Sounds about right.
Like when the hell are we going to see 1 or 2 people do that shit again? Like that's fucked. And they're both in the Spanish league as well, which is pretty crazy. Like I don't know about this.
They used to be.
Yeah, they were. Yeah. Like when they got their Champions Leagues, yeah.
And just like you said, they needed each other. You know, Messi hasn't scored in El Clasico since Ronaldo left.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Has he
How long
assisted?
has that been now?
It's been 6 games. He hasn't scored in El Clasico.
3 years, is it? 4?
Yeah, 3 years.
4?
He's left 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit, time flies, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been there for a while and he hasn't done anything.
And Messi
For
hasn't
you
like...
there.
Oh, he wasn't doing anything. Sorry. He wasn't doing anything for a while this season, eh? People were like, oh, he's fucking done. I know that he's picked up a bit since then, so...
He's a top scorer in La Liga, isn't he?
At the moment. Wouldn't it be
Messi?
Suarez?
Nah. I think...
So-
until
I'm not
like
too
a few
sure.
weeks ago, Messi was a top scorer in La Liga.
What does the ladder look like anyways now?
Mate, it hasn't been this tight in years. So Atletico Madrid is leading by 1 point. Real Madrid is right behind them. And Barca's 1 point behind them. And there's only about a few games left. So
Fucking hell.
it hasn't been a tight in a while. But in regards to, is this the greatest era in sports? Yes, but that's because we are living in the present. I don't know where technology, like, where does technology, like, get to?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
But see, soccer, I feel like it's not going to... The tech isn't going to
tech
get
isn't
much
going to
better.
affect it.
Like, I'm pretty sure, like, the soccer players, they already... Or football.
you
if
can't make
will.
fancier boots, surely.
No, like, they already have all the data. They wear, like, that fucking bra thing
Like
with
a
that
bib,
tracker.
yeah.
With a tracker on their back. So, like, how much more stats and data can you get on a player
Yeah.
per game?
In team sports, it doesn't matter as much as individual sports. Like, you know how you said, you mentioned that the guy, because obviously marathon isn't the biggest sport in the world, he doesn't get much of a mention.
yeah.
But the dude that broke the 2-hour barrier, the shoes he wore,
Oh, he
they
wore
made
those,
him
like...
illegal.
Yeah, he wore those crazy, like, lunar Nike shoes or some shit.
because they said that they made your running efficiency too good, so
which is
they
pretty
made
crazy.
him, which is
I would still want to know anyone that fucking tries to pull that argument against him. I'm not saying you're doing it. I would want to know how many humans in the world with those shoes on can
run
break
44 kilometers in 2 hours.
that in 2 hours, bro.
So I
can't
to-
even cycle that fucking.
Every once in a while, I go for a run in the morning. Yes, I know you can't believe it that I go for runs,
What do you mean, bro?
I think it takes me about 7 minutes to run 1 kilometer, and that's like obviously not applying to like getting tired and stuff because that's my first kilometer.
Bro, to be honest, I would make fun of you for that, but I haven't run 1 kilometer in fucking 2 years, and I don't even know if that's fast or fucking slow, dude.
But I haven't run since PE in high school, to be honest.
Wouldn't it have been since you'd done your ankle when we were playing indoor?
Oh, mate, that's a story for another day. But I'll tell you this much. I remember back in high school, I was such an athlete. My teacher yeah.
Okay.
I had a teacher called Mr. Banks. Shout out to him wherever he may be. And he would always put it on me for being fat, right? Would always, Daniel this, Daniel that. So one day he goes to me, hey, we're running the 100 meter today. And I was like, yeah, I was running the 100 meters. And he's like, okay, why don't you run it? Let's see what score you're going to get. And me just
like antagonizing you?
Yeah. So
Like
Why are you shouting him out? He sounds like a piece of shit,
patronizing
dude.
you.
he was a messy piece of shit. But
What happened?
yeah, so to fucking, I guess it was like me fucking putting it on him. I decided to walk the 100 meters. So I walked it in 44 seconds. And I was like, great, scores A. And he was like, You just don't want to fucking run it because you know you'll get the same fucking the same time. And I was like, you
Wow.
piece of shit.
What?
That's a burn
He's
right
saying
there.
that you were running it. but you just-
Yeah, he said if I ran it, I would have gotten the same time.
What a fucking dog, bro.
Yeah, it was
Wait,
a
take that
shit
shout out back. Fuck you, Mr.
Yeah,
Banks.
fuck you, Mr. Banks, you dog. But yeah, man. In regards to like this era, like I don't see anyone beating Usain Bolt anytime soon. I don't see
yeah, I
anyone
know.
running that marathon in.
But that being said, this is my argument. I sort of prepared for this. Is that nobody saw, was it Michael Johnson? No one saw anybody breaking that cunt's record. And he held up for like 20 years, right?
Mhm.
The 200 meters?
But he was mad on roids though.
Was he?
They,
Are you sure?
you know what, my friends.
You're not thinking about the other.
No. Michael, is this the guy from the 40s or the guy from the 80s?
No, the guy from the 80s.
Oh no, they were all on drugs.
I know that, but has he been caught out like officially?
They weren't, but they all were. Because you know what? I saw that movie Icarus, that documentary Icarus the other day, talking about the Russian doping scandal. And,
Yeah, the recent one,
And they talk about Lance Armstrong, who's another goat of his sport. And they're like, yes, we all agree Michael Johnson, what's his name? Lance Armstrong was doing drugs. And they asked the competitors around him, is like, so was he the best ever? And they're like, yes, because we were all on drugs and couldn't beat it. So you ask the second next guy, he's like, yes, he's
That's
the
what I'm
goat.
saying
We
with
were all on
Kipchoge.
drugs, he's the goat.
That's
The
what I'm
next
saying with
person's like,
Kipchoge.
we were all on drugs, he's still the goat. Because even we were all on the same drugs, but he was still winning. So
was still
he is the
Level playing field, yeah.
Yeah,
so I remember them saying, I remember watching a conversation in a podcast as well, and they were saying you'd have to get to like the 30th rider on the list to find the first person who wasn't heavily on steroids and shit. So everyone is like, yes, we're all
Do
on
you even know what
drugs.
steroids
And-
he was on? Like, because fucking just test E isn't going to help you cycle
No, so
France.
So what they explained in this documentary is that the three they do is human growth hormones,
Okay, fair enough.
testosterone,
Fair
and
enough.
the steroids, and
Yeah,
that's
right,
like the
okay.
cocktail that you need. And apparently,
fucking win a Tour de France.
Wait, the testosterone is the steroid though.
No. So, I don't know how these
Must be like
work.
Tren or
I
some
don't know how
shit.
this works, but they had three separate things, and if you put them together after they get tested before and after, and your performance goes up by like 25 to 30%, which is huge
Jeez.
in that in that
It
regard.
would be huge in literally anything.
Yeah.
To get a lead, yeah. Fuck.
And I remember the guy who did the documentary was talking to the guy who's now in exile, who was the guy who was running the laboratory where they were doing this thing, and he was telling him, what was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, he was telling him, so like, were all the Russian athletes on it? He's like, yeah, except the figure skaters. It to be like, it doesn't help to be bulky when you're figure skating. So, but everyone else,
Bro, what about the Beijing Olympics? You remember seeing all the Chinese swimmers? Like, you know how if you do enough testosterone, like it fucks with your jaw and your teeth go like mangled and shit? Bro, every Chinese swimmer, and there was like probably 4 of them, they all had like fucked up teeth. And like I don't know if they broke some records, but they all like came first, other than maybe like Michael Phelps or some shit. There was one particular guy with his teeth fucking sideways, like crossing over each other and shit. I'm like, bruh. And everyone, I remember seeing some commentator, you'll be able to find it if you Google it, I'm not bothered. But some guy was saying that the Chinese athletes at that Olympics, they were pissing purple.
there weren't that many roids. were
Yeah,
they?
I was like, bro, we didn't even know. And the thing is, I forgot who this. There was a sprinter probably just before Michael Johnson, and there's a documentary on it, and he came out like he had some medals and some records. I think the record before Michael Johnson, and you know how they go back and they will apparently whatever regulating authority it is that tests their piss essentially because they all do like piss tests.
Yeah, wider.
Yeah, they get they store their piss samples somewhere in like obviously probably some fridge or some shit so it doesn't go off or whatever, and they test it like in years to come. So this guy who had records, I think it was before Michael Johnson, they ended up stripping him of his medals like fucking 30 or 40 years later.
Because the technology gets that good, it finally
Yeah.
picks it up.
So probably like 20, 25 years, 30 years from now, we're likely going to see a bunch of Chinese fucking athletes. And likely everybody, not just Chinese,
Yeah,
just get
Why is
stripped.
it all?
But do you imagine it goes the other way and they're like all of a sudden Federer gets stripped of all his titles?
Oh, mate,
Turns
I
out
wouldn't
he
believe
was.
it. Wouldn't believe it. Fake news, bro. Fake news.
Oh, man. I'd be so sad.
Yeah, honestly, I'd be
Yeah,
tilted.
they find out Usain Bolt was doing all the drugs as well. Oh,
Yeah.
mate.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. So, I guess, what do you guys think? What's our final What do you guys think? Are we living in
final verdict?
Yeah,
I
are we
don't
living
know.
in?
For me, I feel like we probably are, but I don't know. At the same time, like when you look at the younger players, like I'm just gonna take football or soccer, whatever you want to call it, as an example. You look at the younger players like Haaland and all these guys. It's like they're great. They're very talented, but like when Messi and Ronaldo were 19, 20, you knew they were going to be like fucking so special. You know what I mean? Like,
You know what
I don't get that feeling with the younger players in a lot of sports. You know what I mean? Like you don't get like these are going to be generational talents that you're not going to come across in 50 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
And
like
that's one of the things that I thought about Neymar when he was coming up. People were like, "Oh, he's going to be fucking
Like,
the
he
next
was-
dude for ages." But the one thing about, in particular, like his physique, his body shape, he's like small, skinny, very like kind of brittle,
agile, kind of quick and
brittle, but like,
speed and shit.
yeah, all
but
it would
like,
take is like a couple injuries for that guy to be fucking
Yeah.
to be gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just
Oh,
smaller.
I also felt like Neymar's attitude was kind of not there. Like he was fucking an exceptional talent, but
He's
sometimes he was a bit
He's
of a
Brazilian.
That's a Brazilian
That's a
thing.
like he's
yeah.
just a hothead, like kind of like he's just
Yeah.
That's a Brazilian thing to just be like a
Yeah.
ridiculous talent, and maybe I don't know. Like obviously he probably fucking trains just as hard as everybody, but like Ronaldinho and
That's the thing. I don't think he does.
Ronaldo, yeah, maybe he's just
I
he's
really
just that good.
don't think
does
these
much.
people do. Ronaldinho ended up playing a football game in prison. That's how rowdy that guy was.
As in, like he was in prison,
Ronaldinho
he
was
was
an
in
or he
absolute
visited the
freak.
prison too.
No.
No,
he was in prison. He was
Ronaldinho
in
tried
prison.
to go into Paraguay with a fake passport. So the Paraguayan police throw him in
Have you never
jail
heard about this, dude?
Why?
Have you never
because
heard
he had a
this?
fake passport.
No, but like surely
Oh,
he can
why?
get a passport.
Oh no! So Ronaldinho's a mad dad. Apparently, he's real fucked at the moment. But they throw him in prison. But now, all of a sudden, you're in a football-loving continent, and you have imagine your bunkmate is Ronaldinho. So
Like, no one's
obviously,
gonna fucking
everyone's
shank you,
mates
bro.
with him.
Everyone's sucking your dick.
Yeah, apparently, security guards would treat him like their mates. He'd get better food, and this Paraguayan prison we're staying at decides to throw a football tournament. And the winner gets like a baby pig to like cook and eat.
A deck of darts.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
So, bro, Ronaldinho proceeds to score 7 goals in the opening game, and there was some websites online keeping his stats, writing his
Are
stats
you
up
serious?
from this
Yeah.
in prison.
They were updating his
Yeah.
ultimate team card.
they were keeping up his stats from this prison football game. And there's a photo of him posing with the pig and his team that he won. So, like, imagine the ball he would be having. Apparently, like, prison became camp for him. He was just having a good one with
crazy.
the boys and shit. Yeah.
All right, what do you guys reckon, Toledo and Nico?
Yes or no to the greatest
Um.
era of sports, I guess.
Well,
Well, I mean,
I feel
you-
like it is at the moment, but I'm not too sure how it will be. For like our future. Because of all the science that's like you're going on now. Yeah, like I feel like like a lot of the players are like on the same playing field now. Yeah, so
Yeah.
like I'm not
Like how
quite
much
too
how
sure
much
what's
better
gonna
can the
happen
science
now.
get? Like fucking.
Yeah.
Eventually, they'll just have to be like,
Exactly.
all right, everybody can use roids, like you're saying. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Man, I think it is leaning that way, but the only bad thing about that is that means you're not on the playing field anymore. See, the technology has gotten so good that sort of put everyone on the same playing field, but now we're making it. See, before it was who could afford boots, who could afford to go to trials, and who could afford a ball. Now we're just changing the problem to steroids. Who can afford the steroids?
or you know what's a really interesting argument is SARMs. You know there's
Who? Sorry.
I can't say SARMs, like SARMS. These chemicals, I can't really say steroids because they're not steroids, but they're chemicals that you can, like, I guess, probably just take by pill form or fucking inject yourself. I don't know. But they're like chemicals that will specifically target something about the human body. Like, for example, improve recovery of your like ligaments and joints after an injury or after exertion, you know what I mean? Or improve muscle recovery or muscle healing. So it's not exactly like a steroid. It's not performance enhancing, but it is, I guess, recovery enhancing. That's like, I don't know if that's illegal yet. I have no idea, but I know that fucking, Rogan talks about it all the time.
Probably
He uses
is.
it. Yeah.
If Rogan's talking about it, probably is.
But they're like, I think they're like research chemicals. Kind of like N-bombs back in the day.
Yeah, how can you forget that at
Alright.
some point acid was a
Acid was like legal.
yeah.
Yeah. You know what the thing is as well, is that because we like grew up in this time, even though I mean we were kind of young during the beginning of it, is that I feel like in let's say there's no one that comes close to like Messi and Ronaldo like for the next 20 years, and we're like 40, 50 years old, and we have kids that are like 10 or 15, and these next guys come up. I feel like we'll become like those rose-tinted glasses cunts that are just like, oh, well, you like when I was talking to my dad about Ronaldo and Messi when I was like fucking 14, he was like, mate, you should have seen like when I was younger and Maradona was at the top, like he would have smashed these guys, you know what I mean? Like, are we going to become those people?
Absolutely.
I think
Yes.
Absolutely.
We're not going to be
we are.
able to admit it even if it does happen.
Bro, so my dad got to see, not at the stadium, but my dad was alive for the 62 World Cup in Chile, where Pele got injured in the second game because back then you had no protection. Pretty much the only way to stop you was to kick the shit out of you. And they injured Pele on the second game. And my dad just got to see 2 games of Pele. And he goes, nah, that's the greatest footballer ever.
Okay, I'm going to throw a quick question out there because as great as Messi and Ronaldo are, I still consider Pele the GOAT of football.
He's kind of like the first GOAT.
Only because as well, right, like the cunt has 3 World Cups, what, 4?
Three World Cups.
3.
Like Messi and Ronaldo
62.
still haven't won a World
Yeah.
Cup.
You
If
don't
either
have
of them
one.
win, automatic GOAT status for either of them, for me,
Yeah.
just in my own
Oh,
opinion.
it would be so difficult, especially
Absolutely.
at their age now, to win
Exactly.
one.
That's
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's why, like, if either one of them won a World Cup now, especially at this stage of their career, like, I'm just saying, like, whoever
That's what-
wins,
that's what
whoever
a lot
wins
of
it, that's the GOAT.
That's
right?
why. That's why there's a massive argument for Ronaldo being over Messi because he's won more Champions Leagues, I think,
Well,
and he's won a Euro, right?
That's one-
yeah, he's won a
Yeah,
Euro in
but in saying that,
2018,
what-
2016.
What Jav said, like, makes so much sense because I'll tell you this. We talk about GOATs, right? In football, the World Cup is like
The
the
ultimate.
connotation that you need to be
Yeah.
the GOAT. That's why the kids don't remember who Johan Cruyff is.
Yeah,
Who
exactly.
could be, bro, Cruyff could easily be
Yeah,
the
the GOAT.
greatest football
Oh,
player who
exact-
has ever
yeah,
lived.
Johan Cruyff, bro.
Bro, remember when Ronaldo was at Manchester and every 2 steps he'd throw a what's the move that he'd do? A step over.
Yeah.
Bro, Cruyff used to throw 50 step overs on the same blade of grass. This is back in the 70s.
On the same blade of
The
grass.
guy would,
Alright.
bro, the guy would do 50 step overs and you'd have to slow mo in to see all of them because the guy was that quick. And the kids never talk about him. Why? Because he never won the World
He's
Cup.
got a stadium after him. Named
He
after
does.
him.
He does.
does,
in-
right?
But
yeah,
but
in
do the
Nether-
kids
in the
name him,
Netherlands.
name drop him as much as they do Pele and Maradona? When Cruyff could have easily,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
could argue
Could
he's
have been the
easily
best
better
one.
than
Yeah.
Pele and Maradona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Purely
in,
because
just
of
in
the
a
World Cup.
vacuum, in a vacuum. But I mean, yeah, it's the same argument like LeBron Jordan. Will like, are you going in a vacuum
it's Jordan, mate,
or
it's
you?
Jordan.
Nah, for that's
That's
that one's the side.
No, no,
Yeah.
I'm
That one's decided. So good.
I'm not arguing for LeBron. All right, I'm a LeBron
okay.
hater, tried and true. But I'm just saying,
That's why you're
like,
on the podcast.
exactly. I'm just saying, like, it's like in my mind, it's not even close. All right, it's not even close. But I'm just saying, for people who argue LeBron, they argue longevity and stats and all these things. But in a vacuum, Jordan and the championship, like, he never even went to a
Bro,
game
he-
7.
You know, I'm not like I don't like LeBron for his politics, but he's fucking up there. Like he has to be second easily, right?
I reckon I'd stop him.
But I could guard him. I could guard
I
him.
could guard him
In a 1v1.
But everyone forgets that Jordan went back to back to back twice, bro. Twice.
Wait. Back
went
to back to back.
He went-
This
what-
went
say
to play
what? You're
baseball, came back, and went back to back to back.
Yeah, exactly.
It's ridiculous.
You know what's crazy about? Have you ever heard all the conspiracies around him going to baseball?
No.
So you
I did actually.
You guys know that Jordan has a crazy well, I don't know if he still has, but
He had
had
a
a crazy
gambling-
gambling addiction.
Yeah.
And apparently his
He loved
gambling
gambling.
addiction was so messed up that the conspiracy is that he actually got sanctioned.
by the NBA.
But to make it look like he didn't get sanctioned because you can't do that to the greatest player ever, they were like, you know, mate, maybe you'd go try
And it
that
just so
baseball
happened-
like you always
Maybe.
thought about.
Yeah, it just so happened at the same time that his dad died, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm going to go do baseball
Yeah.
or whatever."
'Cause that's
And the
what my
NBA
father
under the
wanted.
table was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, bro, you've been sacked for about a year."
a year and a half it took him to
yeah,
come
a
back.
year and a half. So like, you know,
Just,
do what you want to do.
just quickly on this Jordan LeBron debate, kind of back and forth, whatever. I will say this: that the one of the huge kind of, I guess, arguments that I have against people who favor LeBron as the GOAT over Jordan is in Jordan's era when he won, no one won. In LeBron's era, when he won, everyone else still won. Steph Curry, Tim Duncan,
Yeah, there was
Kobe
not as
Bryant,
much dominance. Yeah.
like they all still ate. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
In
yeah,
Jordan's era,
We
he
eat tonight.
shut out the whole fucking league.
And it was so like
And
hyper defensive.
no one fucking ate in Jordan's
but
era.
that took a while though. Remember, Jordan won his first championship when he was like 28.
Yeah, and
Because
once he won,
But that's
no
kind of
one
that's when he
impressive,
took
bro.
off.
Once he won, no one won.
It's kind of
bro.
impressive though. Like
Because everyone forgets about that stat. Remember that for
Yeah,
the
but-
first few years of Jordan, you had the Pistons going hard.
Yeah.
You had that
Because he
the
had to go through
Showtime
the-
Lakers at
He
that
had to
time.
go through the bad boy Pistons, the Showtime Lakers, and the real
But you could argue
LJB,
that they
not
were already-
LBJ, LJB.
But you could
Larry Joe Bird.
You could
motherfucker.
say
Yeah, but
you could
Bird was
say
on
that
his
they were
way out.
already on the
Huh?
way out though. On the way down.
Bird was on his way out. Johnson was still big.
That's
though.
not to take anywhere away from Jordan, because Jordan, you know, he stuck by them. LeBron, at the first chance to leave, he was like, "Guys, I'm going to take my talents over to
Yeah.
South
To the
Beach.
East.
that other team
Over
that I
to
might
South
win
Beach.
with."
The other team that just won.
Yeah, I'm going to take my talents to
So,
the ones that have Wade and
with the Michael Jordan, LeBron James, I would start considering LeBron equal when he wins like one more or two more championships than Jordan.
I don't like that
reckon
argument.
If LeBron wins 5 chips, he's
No,
in
no,
the
no, no.
discussion.
I'm saying if he won one or two more than Jordan. If he
Oh,
wins
so if he
equal to
wins
Jordan,
7
I'll
or
still
8
give it to Jordan because
7
he
or
won
8.
3 back, like as in back to back to back twice.
Yeah.
I don't like that argument because we'll keep shifting the goalposts. People that do that, and then when he does win 2 extra, will be like, "Oh, but Jordan did this."
No, no,
And
no.
then
But
he'll
he's
do it
already
in-
one behind Jordan, right? So I'm
I
saying
think he might
No,
be
he's 2 behind
two
Jordan.
behind
yeah.
Jordan.
So
He's
what
won-
I'm
he's
saying
won
is, if
4.
he won one more than Jordan or 2 more than Jordan,
So-
I'd be like, all right, it's pretty hard to argue that.
I don't think he's going to do it. He's going to be a bit
He
old.
wouldn't. He's going to be too old, man.
To be fair, I get where you're coming from it, but at the same time, if you're gonna make that case where you would consider LeBron the GOAT purely because he's like that everything is done like longevity, but like
Well, by
the
that-
amount of chips is getting him over the line, then why aren't we considering Bill Russell as the GOAT?
Well, by
like,
that,
with 11
by that
chips.
point, it's not just.
Seriously,
it's not
why
just,
aren't we considering Bill Russell? Like, I don't understand.
I'm saying what I'm saying is by that point, let's say 4 championships from now. So he's been champion and he's won another 4 from now.
So he's got 8
He
chips.
would also, it's not just counting the trophies. I'm assuming he would be scoring decent. So he would probably be past Jordan's scoring total, his rebound total. Like it would have to be a culmination of things.
To be fair, if he won 4 more titles, I'd consider him the GOAT.
That's what I'm saying. It's
but-
hard to
Like
argue,
no
bro.
one in the modern
No,
era
but-
could ever win more than.
But what
8
are your
chips,
thoughts
really.
on what are your thoughts on people considering what's GOAT, what other players consider GOAT, like other players that have been at that level? Because what seems to
What do you- I don't understand the question.
So a big thing that separates Jordan from LeBron is the fact that all these players that played around the time all say that Jordan was the GOAT. For example, you see Shaquille arguing some dude on ESPN, and he's always like,
Oh yeah.
he's like, how can you say, like, I played
Yeah.
with Kobe and him? Like,
Yeah. No, 100%.
no one's better than Jordan.
Yeah.
And Kobe was modeled after Jordan. He was like before LeBron, he was the next person to be like for people to say, yeah, this might be the GOAT.
Yeah.
And he literally modeled his game on Jordan. Like
Like,
his
he was
fadeaway
identical.
shot and everything.
But the thing I will say in favor of Jordan is over LeBron. Look, and I know LeBron came into the league in like 2005 ish.
Straight from high school.
Straight from
so
high
he
school,
didn't,
yeah.
he didn't
Yeah.
waste college time.
Yeah. No, that's all good and well, but I'm just saying, LeBron. Okay, let's go up to 2010, right? So ignore the first 4 or 5 years of his career, right? So he's played 17 seasons now. So 12 out of the 17 seasons. So 2/3, 60 to 70%, he's played in an era where like the rules have changed so much, like that give the offense
Even
just
the
so
style
much
of play.
room, so much space,
Yeah.
and it's a shooters league. Like,
Yeah.
like there's so
The defense
so much
is not as crazy
so
as
much
Jordan's
less
time.
emphasis
Yeah.
on the defense, like hand checking, the ability to not like
Yeah.
you can't do that anymore. All this shit, like Jordan dominated the best era of big men,
Exactly.
and that's the difference.
Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely.
And not only that, bro, Jordan's defensive stats during that time.
yeah.
Absolutely
Everyone forget. Yeah, that's right.
ridiculous. He wasn't just
Jordan
a
was
scorer.
such a great scorer. You forget how he was.
He
What,
was
all
in your
defensive
face.
3 years as well?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
way
some
more than
some
that, dude.
crazy
Jordan-
shit,
Part of the
man.
dream team.
Jordan was a defensive player of the year, dude.
Oh, there you go. Man, and what you boys were talking about, Go watch a Pistons games from the early 90s. They were pretty much putting you in a chokehold.
Yeah.
You know, you couldn't back up, you couldn't back onto them because back then they just
you go watch any of the old
all
Lakers,
Shaq-looking
Celtics, Bad Boy Pistons, Bulls, Lakers, Pistons.
The only thing, like,
Celtics,
not the only
Bulls,
thing,
like,
but one
all
of
that
the
shit.
one of the better arguments, or not the better arguments, but one of the better statistics that I hear from we got the audience coming in now. One of the better statistics or better highlights or points from LeBron's game that is a good argument for him being up there.
The GOAT.
Is when he went back and he actually, because I used to give him mad shit for, just going to the Heat and winning. And when he came back to the Cavs and he actually got them a championship, that was like, fuck,
That's pretty
alright.
sweet.
Respect, because I wasn't expecting you to go back to the Cavs. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I'm not just shitting on the guy, but
But no respect because he left them to begin with as well.
that's true. That's true.
You know what? He pretty
sort of
much went
neutralized it.
for people and that's why, I'm a bit of a LeBron hater as well. And that's a big part of it. And that's not just me, but a lot of people dislike LeBron because of that. Because he said, in order for me to ever be considered GOAT-ish, I have to win a championship. So I'm going to leave you guys to the side. Go do that where it's not guaranteed, but a very good shoe-in with that team.
Yeah.
And now that I've done that, now I can come back to you guys. And that just seems like a bit of a
cop out.
yeah, nah. Not a big fan of that decision.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying though. At the very least, he went back and he sort of tried to, he kind of, by doing that, he made that point saying, it was, I didn't get carried, and he literally kind of carried a team to the championship. So props to LeBron, and I think we'll close off that segment. For the next segment, fucking hell, bro, how do I even? This is not related to sports at all, people. My friend to my right here, Nico, has sent in a video requesting us to watch it. So I'm going to turn his laptop around so we can all see.
Yep.
And I'll stand up and watch it. It's a video. I've literally seen the first second of it, but I'm already fucking on the verge of tears because
So
Yeah, well, give him some
I'd like
context.
to say something.
Give him some context.
yeah. Give us context.
So for our audience, our host, he's turning 27
Yeah, I'm turning 27. Thanks,
Yeah,
buddy.
Whoa,
Yeah,
you joined the
27 in
27
about-
club. Don't die.
in about 2 hours or so.
Yeah, just under 2
So-
hours apparently. Fuck, thanks for reminding me.
All good. So I paid someone online to do a B-day shout out to
Oh,
my
dude.
mate.
So what is that app that they use? So when celebrities and not even that famous people, what's that app?
It seems that we could go in there
called-
and make
yeah,
videos.
literally. We should, hey, let's make some money. Hey, so it's an app where you can pay a celebrity or something. What is it called? Is it Vimeo?
No.
Cameo.
Cameo,
Okay.
classic.
All right. So Cameo is an app where you can pay a celebrity 15, 20, $100, whatever it is, and they'll do a shout out video on their phone and send it back to you. So you can. Thanks for this. I wasn't
good.
expecting it, but
It's all good. But yeah, I've seen some person online charge $500 for a shout out.
That would
which
be
is,
some
so
legit
ridiculous.
celebrity.
yeah.
bro.
What is he
Yeah,
getting?
it
nude or
would
something?
be.
That'd be some DiCaprio shit or something like that.
No, yet.
Not
I don't think he
even-
would
not
even do it.
even
He
like
wouldn't. He
that.
wouldn't even want to taint his
Yeah.
name doing that. eh?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
but-
got enough money. He doesn't need that shit.
Yeah, but yeah, I feel like if you're paying your $500 and then
Yeah.
they would have to do a show or something for that money. You know what I mean?
I'm still drinking mine, man. Thanks. Yeah, 100%. They would have to do something special.
Exactly.
I think Charlie Sheen does these.
Yeah, he does.
James Arelis Carpenter, not in the same league, but he does these.
Are you
Like,
talking
who's
about
that?
Are you talking about the greatest car salesman?
Oh, 100%, bro. You know who it is. All right, so let me get this video ready. I saw the first second and I fucking cracked up, and I was like, nah, I have to save my reaction. Actually, Jav, if you can go sit next to Toledo for a second, just for while we play this. So this is I have it here on the laptop. You guys can just share that mic for a bit. One of the guys that I followed on Instagram for a while, his name's Martin Cabello,
Yeah.
or Cabello if you're a spick. And he's a little bit of a is he even a conspiracy theorist? He does
Yeah,
does
I
weird-
think he is.
Yeah.
I think he's a right wing I don't know. He's like a comedian. Or
He's
something.
like a comedian.
I'm not too sure.
No
if
one
he's-
really
yeah,
knows what this guy's true intentions are.
Yeah,
He's.
I don't know if he does this,
But he's
like as an act or something.
I think it's an act. I don't know. He's playing he's got like a million followers or something, and it's a bunch of young people, and he is claimed to be like taken and gaslighted and brainwashed by the FBI, or by the CIA. He was like in the army, and they tortured him, and they did they cut his head open or something, and I don't know. I don't even know what Oh Jesus! All right. I'm just gonna press play. All right, so here we go. For some reason, he always does these videos with Ernie. Is it Ernie? Yeah, it's Ernie. Ernie from Sesame Street. Let's press play. And this is Martin Cabello, apparently granting me a happy birthday, whatever.
Hello, Jeremy. Your friend Dante booked me and my friend Ernie to wish you a happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jeremy. Happy birthday to you. Now, I hear you started a podcast.
Oh, God.
So I'll give you a little bit of a how to say this.
Is he drunk?
Sorry, I just got done doing push-ups. If you in the notes from this cameo, like, hey, 5 stars, Martin, whatever, I can reply back because you're going to give me the name of your podcast, and I can also say, hey, Martin Cabello here. Don't forget to check out blah 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 podcast for a little advert for you. But let's remember this phrase. Peter Pan lived in a pan where the pesticides don't reside, and the pests can still reside. What pests? Insects, masters of the universe, because they are responsible for the chemical action behind olfaction, or the sensation that built humanity's memorization, along with allowing us to build another antibody, strengthening our immunity. Happy birthday again. God bless.
Jesus Christ.
Bro, he's cooked.
He's absolutely cooked. So, for our listeners, he's gained a bit of fame online, and he literally, like, I'm not calling him autistic, but he literally has autism. Like, he's open about it, which is cool, which is fine.
Yeah.
But the thing that's weird about him is whatever his conspiracies are, he makes up like these weird poetic, what the fuck, I'm retarded, poetic type of, I don't know, just like phrases to try to explain the universe and stuff. And that probably wasn't the best example of it, but thank you very much.
Woo,
but shout out to him. I feel like I got to give him a shout out now, dude.
Yeah, man.
Martin Cabello. I think you can find him on Instagram if you just search Martin Cabello, Cabello. And actually, no, his Instagram is at
Bro, his Instagram handle is very hard to keep up with.
His Instagram handle is TI_me_2_mass_so_I_exist. I'm pretty sure.
_
502,000 followers, and his content is actually pretty hilarious for a while, and then you start to worry about him. Yeah. So me and shout out to Jordan, we used to watch his videos pretty fucking religiously, and then we were just like, all right, I think this guy's probably needs to seek some help. But thank you for the birthday wishes, Nico.
And Martin.
Yeah, and Martin, of course, man. He made some money from this, and he, some hard times. He's in the US, so.
Where in the US is he located?
Bro, I don't know. It was like,
I mean, anywhere, and you're like, fuck.
yeah,
that's
pretty
rough.
much.
That's
Anyway.
rough.
You know. Okay, so just a little bit of backstory. So the way I found him, right? Someone had clipped one of his videos. There's like so many video clips of him on YouTube, and it was fucking hilarious. Like, someone clipped a serious video of him where he literally is like, this is my he's in his garage and he pulls up like a jerry can, like a red can or a red bottle thing full of petrol, and he's like, this is my jerry can full of petrol, and he's got like a weird face, like his eyes are really like open, and then he's just like, my friend Josh killed himself and his 2 kids, and he's just like staring at the camera.
Oh, that's a mess.
And then the clip just cuts, but he stares at the camera for like 4 seconds after he says that, kind of like half smiling, And then like someone clipped that and
scary,
put that on
man.
like an Instagram meme page. And I was just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Anyways, I was like, I cracked up. I sent it to Jordan. And then like I was like, I wonder what's wrong with this guy. Like I was trying to find out who he is and ended up Googling it. And then, bro, I came across the case and it's apparently like a true story about like, I don't know if it was actually his friend, but someone that lived like 2 streets away from him. So likely knew him because, you know, his name was Josh. He was in the army. And apparently, like he, like, literally killed him and his wife and his 2 kids or something in like a house fire or some shit. And I'm like, bro. And this guy literally Martin. He's always talking about how he has brain damage and stuff like that. So I'm just like, holy shit! And there's like Reddit
this is
threads.
4chan level.
Yeah, there's like Reddit threads like, yeah, this person was real. This is a real, like, you know, full news articles, and it was like a death, like, you know, a few years ago. And I was like, holy shit! And he obviously just blew up, and now he's doing this, which is, you know, good on him. He's kind of like, you know, doing something.
He's making money.
He's definitely making money, man. He's probably doing like 10 cameos a day or something. All right, thanks for that, Nico.
No worries. Love it.
Yeah, I was. You know what? I was actually going to pay him to do one for Jordan last year. Yeah. I was going to pay him to do one for Jordan. Not even joking, dude. Like I literally opened up the Cameo on the website, and I was like, oh, dude, I'm going to do it, but I don't know. Like I didn't know what to tell him, and I think I forgot the exact day Jordan's birthday was on because I'm a terrible friend. But I'm pretty sure it's in June. But anyways, so we have a topic. Was it a topic or a story that you wanted to talk about, Toledo?
Yeah, man, it's a story that kind of leads to something that we can all talk about, because I've been caught out in the past with this, and I was wondering, you know, surely this happens to everyone, and it's about, there are things that sometimes during your life you find out about something, and you think to yourself, shit, as if I didn't know this before. You know those moments when you're like, as if no one ever told me that.
I actually have one
no
off the top of my head that happened recently.
Yeah, so you know, it stays in your mind, because I've had a few. So I'll tell you about the one that I had this week in a bit, but sort of as a preface to this. So back in the day, obviously me and my family could never afford to go on cruises, but whenever those ads would come on TV, I'd always be like, oh, you know, $1,600 and you'll go to the Caribbean and back, those sort of bullshit commercials, you know, as you
They're
do.
not bullshit. They're actually hectic. Cruises.
Nah, but the thing is that they'd always say, you know, 1,800 twin share.
Mm-hmm.
It took me till I was 16 to realize that wasn't a deal specifically for twins, because that's what I actually thought.
What?
Are you fucking serious?
How long ago?
Because when I was,
fuck?
I don't even think that's like one
That's
of
not
those
even
things that
logical,
you
dude.
realize later in life. That's just you being fucking retarded.
yeah, but if the first time I thought about it, so if I hear this commercial and I'm like a little kid, I'm like,
But you said 16. Up
no,
until 16, you didn't
that's
even
when I
realize.
found out. That's when I found out.
Right. Did someone tell you?
So what happens is, wait, get this. So I'm like, let's say I'm a little kid. I'm watching these commercials, and I always, you know, when you think something in your head that's so correct that if they don't tell you, if no one tells you,
like you've already figured it out. Like it's
that's
just
right.
cemented in your.
So
in your
so
mind,
I always like twin share. I was like, man,
fuck, I wish I was a twin so I could go on this cruise, so I could get this mad deal.
I wish I was a twin so we don't have to pay the full amount.
I wish my brother was fat.
Jesus.
So pretty much one day, and it's one of those things where as soon as you say it, you realize the absurdity of what you just said. So we're chilling at home, one of those commercials comes on, and I was like, man, why is it that every fucking twin gets his deals and not us? And as soon as I said it out loud, I was like, wait a minute. By then my sister had already heard it. So she's like, what? And I'm like, it was too late. I couldn't play it off. So I was like, I actually thought those deals were only for twins. So she loses the plot and goes and tells the rest of my family. They all come in and start the roast session on me.
Start the banter.
They call their cousins
they're like,
over.
twin share. And they're all losing the plot at me. And I was like,
get the grandparents over.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
pretty much. Everyone was putting it on me. And I was like, it's just because I've grown up my whole life thinking that's what it was, and you know, I never think about it. It's not like something. It's not like every day I was like, I wish I had a twin.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So, but I always remember that story because something happened midweek, and it was another one of these moments where you're like, wait a minute, it's like that, and oh man, this one killed me because I felt so stupid after as well. But I'm gonna start by asking you boys first, I guess. Just maybe you guys are in the boat with me, you know?
Do you wipe when you shit?
No, I wiped before.
Hectic.
But did you guys?
Wait, you guys wipe? Fuck. I think I just had one of those moments.
No, but for reals, don't play me out for this. Tell me if you guys have it as well, because I want to hear some honest answers.
I'll be honest.
Oh, I feel so fucking stupid saying it now.
Just say it, bro.
The more I say it,
Mine's
in my
pretty
head-
fucking stupid, bro, to be honest. And to this day, I'm still doing the stupidity, so you can go ahead, bro. Trust me.
Okay. Did you guys know the difference between broccoli and cauliflower?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Wait, are you asking me if I knew the difference between...
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you know
Bro.
the two
So
different
what?
things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%.
Bro.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. Okay, follow-up question. When did you figure out the difference? When did you figure out there was a difference?
Bro, he said midweek.
Okay, I lied.
Oh, what the fuck?
I lied. I lied. It was in midweek.
How'd it
was-
go?
Midweek,
though?
like,
It was
as in-
literally about 3 hours ago. I was having dinner at my girlfriend's
Oh,
place.
midweek? That's 3 hours ago.
Yeah, I just wanted to make it sound not as shit. I didn't want to sound as shit.
Holy shit. Wait, you just got dropped off by your missus. Was she there?
Yeah, she's the
Yeah.
one who
Oh
pointed it
my
out to me.
fucking God, dude.
Oh my god.
So what happens is,
Okay, no, yours beats mine, dude.
no. So what happens is we were
Jesus.
eating dinner, and she's like, "Oh, do you want vegetables?" I'm like, "No, I'm cool." She's like, "Oh, so she's like, "Oh, so you don't want cauliflower?" And I was like, "Oh, I thought you made broccoli." And she goes, she looks at it, and I'm like, "Wait a fucking minute!" It hit me.
Way met.
That they're different. See, I thought they were interchangeable names.
Bro, you're fucked in the head, man. You need to fucking...
I thought it was like.
I was thinking this guy's fucking colorblind
No,
or some shit, dude.
I thought it was like like
Gav is fucking dying, bro. You were just like, way met.
I thought it was like what's the name of that herb that no one likes that half the people think
Coriander,
it-
bro.
I thought it was like
Yeah,
coriander and cilantro. You know,
Yeah.
But they're not even the
fair
same
enough.
color.
that's what.
Well, the
Well, I
texture-
didn't
They're
know
not
until
same
about
colour or
3 hours
texture.
ago.
Yeah,
hold
their
on.
little bud
You
things
didn't,
are different even.
you didn't even know there was a color difference.
You know what? I
No,
would
so
have given you
I
the
know
benefit.
I know it was two different colors, but I thought they were the same thing.
I would have
wow.
given you the
okay.
benefit of the
Veggie.
doubt if you were like, oh, I thought cauliflower was like a young broccoli and then it got its color or something.
Nah,
Right.
But you literally just thought
I
it were
thought
two
they were
different.
I
Two
thought-
completely different things.
Fuck me, dude.
mate, and it hit me, and I was like, I gotta tell the boys about this because that. I feel like at the ripe age of 27, I should have known that by now.
I feel
You know,
like
the
at the
only-
ripe age of like 4, you should have known that.
The only thing,
Bro. Straight up. dude.
the only thing that I'll try and fucking. I'm gonna do my best to lay
Not
down
roast
a
you.
defense. Yeah, lay down a defense of Toledo
To try and back
is
him
that
up here.
In Latin culture, or at least Central and South American, we don't have. At least I didn't. We didn't eat cauliflower or broccoli all that much growing up. Like I didn't.
I
Did
feel
you?
like I feel like it's more of a white man vegetable. Yeah,
Yeah, and I fucking love it, dude. I love both of
yeah.
them. Now
Fucking oath.
at
I
my
used to
age,
eat
because I don't
broccoli
know how to.
every fucking dinner, bro.
Yeah, now
Every fucking dinner, I'm eating broccoli.
at
dude.
my age now,
I love it.
I never
love
had it when I
broccoli.
was younger, so I fucking love boiling that shit up by myself. It's
Oh
fucking
yeah,
delicious.
fucking steam that
And
shit
I was
up.
like, dude, what have I
Hey.
been missing out on?
I don't know because you mentioned Latino culture. In Latino culture, we don't do steamed veg.
Yeah, we don't really. It's,
We don't
it's
do
like
steamed
grilled or nothing, bro.
Yeah,
And then
exactly
like, it's
right.
like
We do salads,
Yeah,
but we'll never steam vegetables.
yeah,
so
yeah.
you know what? People also found it weird that I was like 18 years old and I was like, I've never eaten a roast because we don't
What?
make we don't make roast in Latin America. We make
Yeah,
asado.
They're kind of quite dry, bro.
Yeah, we don't.
it's
So
quite
so
dry.
Asado or
Damn.
nothing.
So,
boys.
so the kids at school would be like, "Oh, my mom's making pork roast." I was like, "I don't even know how to begin to eat that shit.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, and they
How do you
broil
even
shit.
make that?"
Yeah,
I don't even know
Of
how to
course,
begin to eat that shit.
the brain just turns off. The window's turning off sound. So my one is nowhere near. As
Oh wait,
bad.
I got another one though.
All right,
Oh,
go for
do
it.
you?
Drop
Not
it,
as
drop it.
not as bad as the cauliflower
Drop it.
one, but until I was in high school as well. When you get shampoos, I say for colored hair, I thought there were shampoos specifically made for people that didn't have black hair.
Me specifically?
Yeah, what did I say?
Pacific.
Specifically or something?
Yeah, no, but I thought it was like
Just for non-black hair, basically.
yeah, I would never buy that shampoo because I was like, that's for the blondes and the redheads.
That's a little bit more forgivable.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
bit more
Yeah.
forgivable.
Yeah.
That's a little bit
Good,
more.
good.
Wait,
I
how
don't, the
old
way
are
this
you?
guy's, hey, the way
How-
Jav's looking at me, though, I don't think it's forgivable.
To be fair though, anything's more forgivable than fucking thinking broccoli and cauliflower are the same shit.
Yeah.
Anything's more forgivable
They
than
don't
that.
taste the same. They don't smell the same.
They don't
the
look the
texture-
same. They got fucking different colors.
They literally have. They resemble a tree somewhat, and that's about it.
Don't you think they look the same?
No, I'll give you that. They look the same,
They
but other
have
than
the
that,
same sort of a form.
they have no other similar
even, like,
qualities other than looking the same.
But you know how I think about it? Apples. They're different colors.
And,
It's still an apple.
oranges, apples and oranges, how they're
Yeah,
real
you're
similar.
literally comparing apples and oranges. They're like literally different color, different flavor.
like literally
different
cucumbers and
Are they
zucchinis,
actually
bro.
different flavor?
This
What
is-
do you
this
mean?
is me
Trolling us
finding
now?
out.
I don't need enough vegetables to know. I don't.
He's having another one of those
Apples and
moments.
oranges
It's
are
not a
fruit.
vegetable.
Oh,
Cucumbers-
you're talking about broccoli and cauliflower.
Yeah. Oh no,
Yeah.
we're not talking about apples and broccoli. Like, oh yeah, man, I can't tell the difference between those.
Wait, what about cucumbers and
I
zucchinis?
was
bro?
about-
I used to go to Macca's and ask for the broccoli pie, bro. That's how close they are to me.
Is that a thing, bro?
No.
Oh, I was about to say.
It's not.
I know that Toledo likes them cream pies, but
But
No.
yeah, now that I've
He likes that cherry pie, bro.
now that I've put everything out on the table for you boys, go ahead, just what do you have for me?
so my one's not even near as funny. So feel free to
Just don't even
fucking-
tell it, bro.
No, and it wasn't only me, bro. This is like, oh man, I'm starting to think that like I'm definitely retarded, but my family is like it's like a genetic thing. So
So
you know
your
how,
family's all retarded then?
So I was,
Is that what
so
you're telling
let
us?
me explain. So I forget what party it was, but you know how I was living in the city with my cousin and his missus. Shout out to Isaac and
Isaac,
Drea.
yeah. Fucking
Yeah. So I was living and we had a party. I think you were there maybe, Toledo, that night, one of the nights. And this is like last year, maybe a year and a half ago sometime. And Isaac's brother comes over, Alex, who's that guy's hilarious, bro. He's a riot. He's like, the way he's kind of like you, Toledo. The way he tells stories, he's just hilarious. He comes over and he brings, I'm pretty sure he brings his missus over. Or it was Roger, Isaac's oldest brother, and he brought his, like they both brothers came over. But anyways, I think it was Roger's missus or Alex's missus, and we were talking about the dumb shit that we do, right? And she drops Alex on his head, and she's like, dude, when I met Alex, like he didn't even know how to fucking tie his shoelaces. And we're just like, what the fuck? I'm like Isaac's, I'm pretty sure roasting. I think we were all just fucking laughing. We were like off our head on drinks. And we're like, like what the fuck? Like, how did you tie them? Like, how did you fucking tie them? You retarded cunt, whatever. By the way, I was fucking blind as fuck for this. So I'm probably, if Isaac and Dre are listening, I'm sorry. I'm probably butchering the story, completely. But, and we're like, so how were you tying your shoelaces your whole life? And he's like, dude, I was fucking doing the bunny ears and like crossing them over and, tightening them like that, like doing this hand motion.
But that is tying the shoes.
Yeah, that
Bro,
is.
Yeah.
are you guys having this moment right now?
Because that's how Jez ties his shoes, right?
Bro,
He's doing the bunny
Bro,
ears.
so Isaac's like, bro, I tie my shoes like that as well. And anyways, we're all fucking sitting down on the balcony, like overseeing
Showing
the-
each other how to tie shoes.
Yeah.
You
And
went on
Isaac's
YouTube
like,
and
bro,
looked at tutorials.
Did he tie them like this? And I'm pretty sure Isaac started tying his shoelaces. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, holy fuck, bro. That's how I tie my shoes.
to this
And
day.
I'm like, bro, wait, hang on a second. So I think it was Belinda. I'm like, so wait, that's not how you fucking tie your shoes. Apparently people tie them with like, they do the one loop and then they fucking do this little
are
twisty-
you?
I do the double loops,
Are you-
bro. I do the bunny ears, man. And I'm fucking 26, Isaac's 29. Isaac's like, bro, I fucking tie my shoes like that. Alex is like, yeah, bro, I still fucking tie my shoes like that.
I'm gonna,
We're
I'm,
all
I'm,
like, bro,
I'm,
we
I'm
all-
gonna, I'm
I
gonna
tie
have
my
to pause
shoes
you
like
right
that
there.
too.
I'm gonna have to pause you
tie-
right there.
You tie them like that as well?
Yeah, I tie them like that, but yeah, like I think you have to do one more knot at the end.
James
No,
fucking passed away.
You just
Wait.
to tie it. You just
Yeah,
to
you
make
have to
sure.
do, but that's it.
Yeah,
you just do the
have to
same
bunny
knot
ears.
twice.
You have to do bunny ears,
And then you do it
and then
again.
you do it again. That's it.
No.
Bro, apparently,
shit.
so Belinda's like, this is fucking how like you get taught how to
Oi.
tie your shoes in kindergarten.
Oi,
I'm like, dude,
you
no one
three
ever taught me how to
speaks.
do it again,
You
dude.
three
Like,
speaks. Do you want me to tell you? Do you want to show you how to tie
no,
shoes?
don't fucking show me how to tie my
No,
shoes.
bro, it's all
Wait.
good.
You know what? I've been doing it for
my
26
shoes are
years now.
tied.
She showed me on the night. So she's like, they're fucking roasting us. Isaac, Alex, and
Yeah.
me. We're obviously all fucking retarded. And we're all like, dude, literally in our late 20s now, fucking tying our shoes like kindergartners. So she's showing us, and we're like, oh, fuck, all right, that makes sense. And then like literally each one of us is just like, yeah, we've been doing it for too long now. We're not even going to change it.
No,
Like,
Yeah.
to be fair, like it's
It
still
works,
like
it
it's
works.
it's
It
still
works.
it's still a legitimate way to tie shoes. I've known many people over the years that tie shoes like the
But
whole
mate,
two
I had-
bunny ears, but
Yeah.
the fact that you didn't even know there was another way to tie
Nah,
shoes,
I remember when I was
that's the
younger.
bit
Big
that I
man in
find the
history,
most
bro.
hilarious.
I hear Einstein used to do the double bunnies as well. So good on you, man. I'm telling
100%. It's a big IQ move, bro.
you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what?
Yeah,
though?
I'm sure.
That story you just told has given me absolute PTSD, though.
Before you do that, so before you tell me this, I was having PTSD that night because when she was like, "That's not how you fucking tie it. That's how fucking kindergarten. That's how they show you in like kindergarten, preschool how to tie them." I was like, "Holy fuck!" I had a flashback for every moment in my life where I was tying my shoes in front of another chick that I was trying to pick up, and like, or like gotten out of bed or whatever, and I'm tying my shoes, and I'm like, dude. How many fucking people have seen me tie my shoes and just been like, this guy's a fucking idiot. Like, this guy's a fucking
This guy should be
monk.
wearing a helmet.
Straight up. I should be wearing a helmet in the shower, dude.
What kind of chick is like there and you're like trying to seal the deal and then you tie the shoes and then chick's like, you know what?
It might have
actually,
been
maybe
after.
not. And then that's the clinching moment, bro.
Bro, it might have been after the deal was
What?
settled.
Man. Yeah,
Selt?
some people are like, you had me at hello, but you had me at the double bunnies. That's when you conquered me. But you know what? I got PTSD from that story because let me fucking throw it back to Chile. I'm a 5-year-old and my father's trying to teach me how to tie my shoes for the first time. He tried to teach me the double bunny way so many times and I kept messing it up. So he started screaming at me and I started crying. So I'm there fucking crying. My dad gets cut, so he leaves because that's how my dad was growing up.
Whoa,
He teaches something.
Why did your dad get cut?
Oh, my dad's the sort of person where if he tries to teach you something and you don't get it, he gets angry.
He takes it personally.
Yeah.
Like right, okay.
Like, so you know what I am? I am that stereotypical kid where the dad's trying to teach him math and they don't get it, so
Or
he
help with
loses
the
the
car
plot.
or something,
Yeah,
hold the flashlight.
That was my dad. So my dad leaves me crying in the living room, and my
What is this?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So he like, he gets angry and he leaves. Leaves me crying in the living
he never
room.
came
It's
back.
like fucking
Yeah.
idiot, chupam la pija. I'm out of here.
No, not like
What
that.
was that?
But my mum sees me crying in the living room, comes over and goes, "What's happening then?" I was like, so my dad, he was trying to teach me how to tie his shoes and I kept messing it up. So he got real angry with me. And my mum goes, "Here, let me teach you an easier way." And she teaches me the one loop way. And that's how I've been doing it my whole life. Because the other one was too hard for me.
And before Toledo's been tying his shoes with a fisherman's knot for 25 years.
But my dad was a sailor as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's what he was trying to teach me. He was tying shoes the way he would do a tie.
He's doing the old Windsor, bro. The double Windsor.
double
Windsor, bro. The full
Double
Windsor.
Yeah, but
the full Windsor, yeah.
It's hilarious because you know how that's a stereotype.
He's
that,
doing like
sailors know how
the
to tie
fucking
shit.
noose knot
But my-
to fucking
truth, though,
hang
dude,
people, bro.
But my dad, legit, he's always been ridiculous. Like he'll have to tie something to
They're
a
actually
car.
really good with
He
knots,
does this knot where it doesn't have a knot; it's loose. So you just
Is he
have to
teaching you how to do a slip knot, bro?
no. So then you just have to like tug it, and the whole thing unravels, but it's stable. And I'm like, how do you even do this? He's like, I was in the Navy and this, that. But he still couldn't teach his 5-year-old son how to tie his shoes. So
But do you know how to tie a tie?
absolutely not.
Do you know how to do the double
You
bunny
don't
ears?
know how to do a tie.
But at Bosley Park, we had a tie where the front was like a tie and the back was like a ring, like a plastic ring, and you put it into your collar.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those
yeah.
for kids that don't know how to do their ties.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
what?
That's what like those.
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
what
it's just
Yeah,
an
yeah.
elastic ring and
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's for people that don't know how to do
I
their
would
ties.
use that instead.
Ah.
Nice.
So to this day, you have no idea how to tie a tie.
The only reason why I know how to tie my tie is because of William Carey when I was going to William Carey. Oh, and Regent's Park.
Right, do you know how to
You-
tie a tie? You know, this is some private
Of course
school
I-
bullshit.
Of course, I know how to fucking tie a
there's
tie.
some
You know,
private
I know
school
you know how to
bullshit.
tie
Yeah,
a tie,
probably,
right?
yeah.
Well, like I only learned about 2 years ago because I had to go
Jesus
online.
Christ.
Yeah. No.
Like, I did go to a private school and had to get my mum and my mates to do my tie. For
It's a private school thing, but you know what? Like a lot of the guys in school would tie it like at the beginning of the year and then just loosen it and
Yeah,
take it over
yeah.
their head and then
That's
never
what I
tie it
do with
again.
all my ties.
But
Oh,
I-
100%. But
I always
but-
did it like
But
every
they still
day.
knew how to tie it. You know what I mean?
No, so I wouldn't be surprised if what I'm
like that
saying
was
is a
just
lot of the guys
lazy,
just
but
didn't
like
know.
yeah, no, 100%.
But by this age, yeah, you should know. Like, if you're still, you can't be 28, 27
Yeah,
and
not
using an
know.
elastic
Yeah.
band tie, bro. That's
Wait.
fucking shame.
I'll do it.
Wait,
I'll
told
pull it
her.
off.
Wait, do you want a Colombian necktie, bro?
Oh,
that's
yeah.
disgusting. That's
You're
Yeah,
mad.
they're actually gross, bro.
yeah, what is that?
That's
It's,
what
it's,
for real?
it's,
You
it's
didn't
where
know?
you slit their throat and you
You
pull
pull
their
the
tongue
tongue
through. So it's
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
disgusting.
Something that Javier's people would do.
Yeah,
I'm
not
Colombian, by the way. Shout out to all my Colombian fans.
Shouts
out
out to Barranquilla.
Shout out to
there.
all
Shout
my-
out to Mr. Escobar, my main man.
I'm pretty sure he's your dad, bro. We spoke about this last podcast. Bro. Straight up, bro.
Is
Yeah.
your dad?
Mi
Bro,
abuelito, bro.
Him before, like, what is it? Jav gets like an inheritance of like $60 billion. That's why I'm remaining friends with him, bro. In case he makes it big time, bro. Remember me when you make it, lad. All right, so ending on that on that topic, I think Jav's got a fucking story for us. We don't bro. Oh man. So we've actually tamed ourselves, and we've
Yeah, it's been a really like mild podcast,
bro. Compared to that last one,
compared
so for
to
our
the previous,
listeners,
yeah.
for our listeners, we had a session about 2 weeks ago to just test out the
just
audio
to test
equipment.
the waters, I suppose.
Yeah, test out the audio equipment. And Nico apparently Nico messaged me before we started and during the thing, and he was like, "Hey man, get some food," because I told the boys I was going to get them food, and obviously because I was managing this unit thing and the laptop, and I just didn't look at my phone, so I never got us food, but we had a fucking shit ton of alcohol. So then by the end of the 3-hour session, it was just fucking absolutely shambles. So it been good.
Utter mayhem.
But at the beginning of the podcast,
it was
for that
pretty
first
it was
hour,
really
it was good.
It was
and it was during your story, your ridiculous story.
Yeah.
Where you woke up in the train.
Yeah, with no shirt.
With no shirt, no phone.
No vape, no wallet.
Smelling of vomit. Yeah.
With a vomit on my
So that's a story we might story we might revisit.
Later down the track we might revisit.
You've got another story for us today.
Okay, well I want to take a cheeky poll vote. I mean, Nico's he's probably lived most of these stories that I'll throw out to you. So I've got I'm just gonna give you the kind of a punchline teaser sort of thing, and you can all take a vote. I've got the stripper story, I've got the bridge story, I've got pass out on the road story, or I've got Elvis on the toilet story.
You got so many stories. We could have a Wheel of Fortune.
Which one do you guys reckon? What do you reckon?
I mean, I'm pretty sure Nico knows all of them.
Oh, you know what'd be good? That's a good idea, dude. If I buy like a little wheel of customizable wheel,
and just put all Jav stories.
100%. We should do that, dude. If I can get one like that's less than $100, I'll do it.
Well, I mean, what do you guys want to hear?
Wait, so
I want to hear the pass out on the street story.
That's actually very boring, but it's just like, wow, like I can't believe
Sorry,
that.
do you mind? So there was a stripper story,
There was a stripper story, bridge story, a pass out in the road story, and Elvis story, die on the toilet.
Elvis dying on the toilet.
Yeah.
I feel like the bridge is the most inconspicuous, so I want to go with the bridge.
The bridge is a classic story.
Go for it.
That's not when you almost got stabbed, was it?
No, that's no.
That was also a bridge.
I love how stories are so messed that you have to clarify. This wasn't one where you nearly got shanked.
Literally, where they fucking drove up on the curb with a car and almost stabbed you to death.
At this point, his stories are separated into two columns: the ones where he nearly got stabbed and the ones where he didn't nearly get stabbed, but might have been stabbed regardless.
Yeah, straight up, bro. This guy's like that. What's the name of that old bloke from The Simpsons that always cops the fucking football to the sack?
Oh, Moleman.
Hans Moleman. That's just Jav. He just gets shanked in every story, bro. All right, tell us do you guys want to hear the bridge story?
I mean, what are you?
Depending on how good this is, we'll do a couple, man. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean,
Gonna start calling him Magneto the way he
give us the
attracts his
narrative,
iron.
all right. So I was out in the town. I was with Jins and Kuna, right?
Jins.
Yeah, Jins. You know Jins.
Is that the guy with the apartment in the city? What's his name?
Yeah.
What's his actual name?
No, don't say
I thought we weren't doing this.
I thought we were cutting this out.
Oh, yeah, true.
Right?
Yeah.
So Jins.
Yeah.
Give me his
Wait,
tax file number,
I know
where he
Jins.
lives,
I know
who
Jins.
he banks with.
Start again, though.
Jins and who?
Jins and Kun.
Start again, though.
Anyway,
Yeah,
so-
with no names.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Jins and
Jins
Kun is
and
okay.
Kun
He
is
didn't
fine.
even give the name, so it's all
Jins
good.
and Kun is fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we were out drinking one night. It was it was a mild night, and it ended quite early. It was just a piss all night of just mild drinking, and we ended up about 12ish, something like that. Town hall, just pub hopping for a little bit, and the boys decided to go, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna call it. We've had a good one. Don't want to stay out too late. All good. So I'm like, all right, well, I fucking look at my wallet. I got $40, and this is back before like Ubers and all this shit. So like you needed to get a taxi, and it was even before taxis had FPOS machines. So you needed cash, right?
Fuck.
And I've got $40, and it's about $40 from the city to mine for a taxi. And I'm like, I don't want to fucking spend $40. Like, fuck that. That's all my cash gone. Like, fuck that. Anyway, so I called this guy up just before I leave the city.
Nico.
Yeah. And I'm like, yo, what's doing? He's like, oh, I'm just at home, chilling. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I was out with Jins and Kun drinking, but like, I'm going to go home now. He's like, oh, okay, how you getting home? I'm like, oh, I'm just going to walk it. He's like, you're gonna walk from the city to your house. I'm like, yeah. He's like, just get a cab, man. Just fucking just get a cab, you dumb cunt. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, no, I got no money, man.
You don't want to waste the last of it.
Yeah. And he's like, nah, like, so we went back and forth for a little bit. I'd probably hung up on him anyway. So
What
like,
a mate, good mate, right?
Stop fucking taking care of me, cunt.
I didn't want to bar him, as I always don't when I'm pissed and he's trying to tell me good advice. But so yeah, I got walking and I walked down to the road where you kind of you drive down to kind of go onto the ANZAC bridge, and I get there and I'm like, yeah, there's not too much traffic, it's all good, I can probably just go up. So I start walking up, and it's not like the walkway along the ANZAC bridge, it's on the other side, right? So I'm walking up the road where the cars are up the ANZAC bridge, and as you walk up, there's the railing, and then there's like 2 meters, and then there's like the line, so you have like a little space before the first lane.
Sure.
Basically, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just walking up, but as you kind of go up this road and kind of get onto the ANZAC bridge, or the road basically go into the ANZAC bridge, that line slowly merges with the railing. So there's no space. So the railing is the edge of the lane, of the left lane. That is the left line of the left lane, basically. So I was like, well, fuck this. I'm going to get run over. Like, I'm cooked. Like, I'm not heaps drunk, but I'm like, I'm okay. Like, I'm not even mildly pissed. Like, I'm more pissed than I think I was, but I still wasn't that pissed. Anyway, so I start walking and I'm like, nah, this is cooked. Like, I can't do this. So I start walking back down and I'm like, oh, nah, fuck it. I've come this far. Like, fuck it. We'll just do it. So I go up to the top. I wait for the... I wait for the traffic to kind of die down. and as there were no cars, I bolt, and I'm just like bolting for the ANZAC bridge. Like, I'm on the road. And I'm just sprinting, and
So you're sprinting on the bridge?
Yeah, I'm sprinting on the road, right?
Shout out to the ANZACs, by the way.
Shout out to the ANZACs, bro. I'm sprinting on the road, and I'm just like fucking legging it. I've got a decent amount of alcohol in me, so I'm starting to get tired.
It's a fucking big bridge, bro.
It's
long.
I think it's like just
I haven't even made it to the actual ANZAC bridge. It's like still the road to the ANZAC bridge, right? Anyway, so as I'm like running, it's like starting to get tired. I hear cars, so obviously there's the green light down at the bottom has gone green, and cars are starting to come up. I've got no leeway, so I'm in the fucking lane of the left lane, like in the middle of the fucking lane. I'm like, fuck, like I'm gonna get done. I'm gonna get got, So I decide to hop over the railing.
Oh, Jesus, fuck.
So I'm gonna bring my mic up here to kind of do this, to kind of give a physical demonstration to the boys here at the podcast. But
simulate the situation.
Yeah, exactly. So if you can imagine that if I'm running this way and the railing's here to my left, right, I decide it would be a good idea to hop over the railing and slowly crab walk. Shuffle along. Yeah. There's like a 50-meter drop to the water behind me.
All right.
And I decide, this is sweet. Like, I'll just keep walking along, all good. I'll just shuffle. I can see the ANZAC bridge.
3 hours later.
I can see it. It's not too far. It's probably like 100 meters, 50 meters now. Like, to the bit where they've got like the ladders going up for, like, for maintenance and all that shit. So I'm like, I'm not too far. Like, I can do this. Like, this is all sweet. And anyway, so I'm like walking along and I'm almost there and I'm feeling pretty confident. And then, maybe a couple minutes later and I just hear, doo. I'm like, look behind me, coppers. Fuck, not good. So I'm walking along. Not good, man. So I'm walking along. I'm like, fuck, they're gonna arrest me. They're gonna fucking charge me. They're gonna do something. I'm cooked. I'm done. So there's fucking van pulls up, fucking cops, and they fucking get out, and I'm on the edge of the railing, and they're like, don't jump, man. I'm like, I'm not gonna jump, man.
I'm just drunk.
What are you talking about?
I'm trying not to get.
They're like,
fucking
give us your
run
hand,
over.
man. Give us your hand. Just give us your hand, man. Just hop over the railing. It's all good. I'm like, yeah, I'll hop over the railing. It's all fucking
Are
sweet.
you giving me a lift, dude? Or
Wait, you think I'm doing suicide, man? I'm just trying to get home, bro. It's all sweet. They're like, what are you doing, man? I'm like, I'm just trying to get home. They're like, when you get a taxi? Why are you walking along the fucking ANZAC bridge? I'm like, oh, I only got $40. Like, I didn't want to get a taxi.
Then the copper pulls off his mask and it was nickel.
$40. Continue. What happens, dude?
Yeah, so they thought that was pretty ridiculous. And then they were like, well, you know, there's like a walkway, but you can actually, there's a designated pedestrian like path, like to walk like over the ANZAC bridge on the other side.
That's what I was going to ask. I'm like, if it closes off, how do people
like
bike
on the
across?
other side, there's like a walkway up, but I didn't know how to get there, right? And anyway, they're like, you know, there's a walkway just on the other side. Like if you went on the other side, you could just walk across the ANZAC bridge. I'm like, you know, there's 6 lanes of traffic in between me and that walkway. He's like, oh yeah, okay. Anyway, so then
he crossed the bridge and then jumped.
So anyway, they're like, yeah, well, we need to see some identification and all this bullshit. So, you know, I showed him my ID, all that, and you know, they thought I was a dumb cunt, and I still hate him to this day. But
They stole his $40 and left him on the bridge, bro.
close, they offered me a lift home,
And you said no, bro.
and I
You're
was
sounding
like,
you said no, dude.
no, I said yes.
I was about to say.
no, I
Out
needed
of principle, I have to say no.
I needed a lift home, bro. I was like, fuck yeah. They're like, do you want to ride? I'm like, yeah, fucking oath. So.
And you hate him to this day.
And they rode him all the way to Town Hall Police Station.
And they fined him $40.
Just to be shit cunts about it. Nah, honestly, they were pretty nice about it. In the like they just thought I was a fucking jumper, dude, and they were just like worried. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna jump. I'm just trying to get fucking home, man. Like, you know, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not gonna jump. Just fucking.
In their defense, you were over the fucking railing on the ANZAC bridge.
Yeah, but
shuffling along.
it's not like I'm there fucking paralyzed just staring at the water. Like, I'm clearly shuffling towards the ANZAC bridge. Like, you know what I mean? Like
over the railing though.
Yeah, no,
I didn't want to get hit by.
They're probably thinking this dude's looking for a good spot to
I
jump.
didn't want to get hit by a car. I'm trying to act smart about it. You know what I mean?
And Smart was hanging 50 feet above the water on the ANZAC bridge after a few drinks.
Yeah.
It's gotta be at least 50 feet. It's like fucking. It's pretty high.
Yeah,
I reckon
no.
it's 50 meters.
That's
to
what
be
I'm
honest.
saying.
I said yeah.
I was going to say 50 meters, but I didn't want to get caught out for being a dumb cunt.
No, 50 meters for
It's
sure.
huge.
Anyway, so they gave me a lift home, and they were like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "I study at uni." They're like, "Oh, what do you study?" Blah blah blah. We had a good chat about it, and then they dropped me off, and I'm like, "Yeah, this is my house." It was my neighbor's house. I was like, "Oh, better not get dropped off in front of my house in case, you know, Bugs Bunny and Papa Joe see the red and blue." So I was like, "I'll get dropped down a couple houses out," and then yeah, I got home for free, and I had a good sleep, and I woke up, and it's one for the grandkids, really.
Fucking hell, that was a lot more tame than your last story, mate. We'll save that one for another podcast.
Oh, everything's more tame compared to that one, dude. Not I don't think. Maybe only the Elvis story, but like even that.
What do you
is-
mean tame, bro? My boy was suspended. Suspended above this guy.
Oh,
man.
yeah, I mean, for a jab story.
Exactly.
Bro, how the
Maybe I
how
just bring
messed
one
up
out
is in
one
that
Bro, the
every
entire-
episode. bro.
nearly falling off a bridge wasn't enough. Nearly getting shanked was like, yeah, that's normal. Why does
Germs is too accustomed to
when
it.
he
bro.
when he kept on saying, you know, I'm pretty fucking pissed, but I'm all right. I'm like, in my head, I'm just like, yeah, you're fucking all right for a jav, but like any normal human will probably be fucking incapacitated.
Yeah, he probably had 20 shots and he was like, oh yeah, that would
I'm
do it,
fucking
that
all
would
right,
I'm good.
cunt.
I was pissed, but you know.
Yeah, it was
not-
it was a
not
mild
argue
it
too
was a
pissed.
mild night. Yeah, it was
Unless he's fucking absolutely legless and been fucked sideways, Javs will be like, yeah, I'm all right.
yeah,
bro. You know, what's
exactly,
going on?
exactly. I'm always a cheeky 2 out of 10. So, but yeah, no, it was a good one, and it was to be honest, the whole like ordeal of trying to get home and then the cops coming and then getting a ride home with the cops.
If you think about it,
That was more interesting than the night. The night was really mild. Like, that's why I skipped to the end of the night, because the
What
night
did-
was just bullshit.
What did
Like,
Jins and that say?
I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know if I spoke to them. I think I just called Dante, and he's like, don't fucking walk home, you dumb cunt. And I just hung up on him, dude.
To be honest, it sounds like because if we were to like narrow it down, that's just a story about being savvy with your money.
Yeah, really.
I think you're the original barefoot investor. To be
Yeah,
honest.
maybe, but
Original
maybe.
barefoot investor.
Mate.
What a book.
Well, think about it. You had $40 and you had to get home, and you got home, and you had $40, mate. So
I mean, speaking of barefoot investments, I slapped a stripper for free, bro. And she
Is this the
liked
stripper
it.
story?
Yeah, this is a stripper story.
Are we doing this?
yeah,
Might as well.
All right, we got about 10 minutes. We could go for longer.
Doing.
But
I mean, I'll keep this one short. This one's not too entertaining, but it's just like
you slapped a stripper for that usually gets you kicked out immediately. Not that I know.
Yeah. No, I
Like,
once saw a stripper
my
get
friends told
slapped
me.
in the ass twice, and she got up, picked up all her money, and left the party. It's kind of sad.
Usually they just call in the fucking bouncers and get
Yeah,
you fucking.
yeah,
They,
yeah.
they call the
this
bouncers.
is a private
Yeah, yeah.
show at a community center. Oh, that sounds weird. Now it makes it sound like a.
just all went quiet.
like Fairfield Community Center.
Nah,
fucking-
it was a kid's 18th birthday at a community center in
Just
Fairfield.
crickets.
Really?
Yeah. So the stripper comes in real quickly. She's doing her dance, and a dude in the crowd gets so rowdy, he takes off his belt and slaps her in the ass with
So
it.
he literally like whips
Well,
her. He's,
yeah,
that's not a
whips-
slap, bro.
Yeah, whips her.
Right.
So
Fair
the stripper
play
was
to the lady
twerking.
then.
She turns around.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
She turns around, and the stripper tells everyone, bro, like it ruins the mood of the party. She's like, "What the fuck? You know, I'm here. I'm getting paid to be here, and this is assault. This that." So the
It is, though.
Yeah.
Don't hit the microphone
Yeah.
on your way up.
So I'm pretty sure like the older crowd that was there, like the father of the birthday boy and all them, sort of went and, you know, calmed the situation down. They're like, you know, that's ridiculous. It won't happen again, this, that. We're all 17 years old, so we're all like fucking loving
Horny
this
as
shit.
shit.
Yeah, we're all loving this. You can
Fucking
smell the
whipping strippers.
testosterone in the air, bro.
You can smell the cum in your pants.
Yeah, pretty.
You can smell it. What the fuck?
But yeah,
You're disgusting, bro.
So
shag.
they calm the stripper down, and she decides to continue with the show. So
I would have made it already awkward. Though.
yeah,
It's awkward as fuck by now.
It's awkward, but we're all in enough drinks that we're like, yeah, okay, let's settle back into it, you know. So
You're all in enough drinks to fucking whip the stripper with your belt on the ass to begin with,
pretty
right?
much.
So you're all lit.
Yeah, so she plays the audio and gets back to it, and she's doing, you know, typical stripper moves. And the same guy who slapped her like initially,
You whipped her, bro. Whipped.
yeah, whipped her, takes off his belt and comes for a second smack. Yeah, you got that right. The same guy that hit her with the belt once got so rowdy again. He did it twice. She gets up, grabs like her clothes, the radio, all the shit she had, grabs the money, and just leaves, and that's the end of it.
That's fucked.
I froze my beer solid, man. That's actually fucking tilting. Wow. Jeez.
No,
You know what?
You get that slushy texture to the beer.
Kind
It's
of, yeah,
it's
I'm
not
kinda
bad, bro.
shaking
Yeah,
the
just
beer,
shake it up.
It's
good.
not really like moving all that much, but we'll see how it goes. Dude, the last time I was at a strip club with some mates, bro.
I hate strip clubs.
This guy,
okay.
this mate of mine, you know, grabs this chick by the tits, just straight up fucking gropes her. The bouncers come in immediately and they fucking yell at him, Toledo, get the fuck out of here. Shout out to Anna, by the way. Shout out to Anna.
No way,
Nah, I'm
bro.
just
Bro,
joking.
come on, man.
Why did the bouncers know my name though?
All right, that was obviously a blatant
Clearly,
lie.
That's a blatant lie.
I was the custodian at the club.
They just fucking, they just knew him by name, just on
Like,
site.
It's like, oh,
Just a regular.
bro, that was the second time
He's
that
a
week that they
regular.
kicked me out. And the only reason she knew my name is because she knew me from back at the community center where they slapped her in the ass as well.
Where he took off his belt.
I took off my belt and slapped her in the ass.
He's telling stories as if it wasn't him. Bro. That's so
Bro, I
good.
told you he's got so many cracks in his stories.
Oh,
And
mate.
before this stories was just me telling it from a third person perspective.
All right, man. I think that's look, that's an hour and 26. I think we should stop it there and let's not go to the 3 hours like we did last time and get too litty.
Yeah.
But all right, thanks boys for coming. Shout out to Nico, Jav, and Toledo, aka TM40. We'll do this in another couple of weeks. We'll check out the date. This is probably going to be the first episode we'll post. So, you know, thanks for coming along for the ride. We're going to have some random topics. I think maybe our third or fourth episode, we're going to have an actual guest we'll be interviewing. So one of you boys is going to have to volunteer and be the Jamie for that podcast and fact check us.
Yeah, I'm good for that.
Or G. And yeah, thank you very much for listening. This has been The Odd Squad, and we hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned.